doon nagkakagulo at yun ang problema natin. Dahil yung iba naman, rinereklamong substandard. Isa pang malaking problema yan na hindi nalilipatan.
Pupuntahan ko yan. Kaya nga dito sa 1.269 million housing units, meron siguro silang figure ilan ang outright grant.
Ilan ang outright? Itong lahat ng calamity for sure, di ba?
Yes.
So, tapos,
Pare,
hindi, resettlement. Yung portion ng RAP LGU mo. Saan? Portion ng?
RAP LGU, ma'am.
Ano ba ibig sabihin ng RAP LGU?
assistance.
Ha?
Assistance for LG.
Right, ano pa? Wala na? Yung danger... Oh, may bayad lahat? Pati mandamus?
Ito naman siguro yan.
Ito, okay. Okay, pinaghati naman nila doon sa 1.269 ang outright talagang grant na pinakamalaki, etong tinatawag na calamity victims, 276,456. Outright talaga yon. Tapos, yung RAP LGU, yung tulong sa LGU, wala rin bayad yan, tama ba? Wala rin bayad, 125,003.
What is it? Anong tawag sa programa na yun?
Bakit RAP bakit libre?
Assistance program.
Resettlement Assistance Program ng LGU, ang tawag sa RAP LGU.
Pero siyempre, ano yan? Mga limitadong numero lang ng LGU yan.
Yes, that's right.
So, paano naman sila ang napili?
Kung sino yung malapit-lapit, safe, may titulo, higit sa lahat, may dokumento, at yung malapit-lapit yung utilities kasi nadala na rin sila na yung walang tubig, walang kakabitan ng kuryente. The other big group would be the Indigenous People's Housing, that's also outright grant. The former Rebels Housing, yan, outright.
Ilan po yun? Ilan po yung...
Pero tingko konti lang yun, 16,000 yung sa IP at saka sa former Rebels, 1,218.
Sige, let us say, i-round off ko na, let us say may mga 850,000 units ang na-build na ninyo na meron dapat obligation to pay.
Yes.
Dito po yung manggagaling yung sinabi natin na 15 billion na outstanding collectibles. Doon naman yun?
Yes,
Doon po
that's
yun.
correct.
Doon po yun,
yes,
no? Kasi
yes,
sabay-
the others have no collectibles, that's correct.
Sige po. But yung 15 billion na outstanding receivables ng NHA would not really be just for the cost of building the house. May mga penalties na nakasali doon?
Yes, I think penalties, interest payments, patong-patong na po.
Nagpatong-patong na. Sige po. Actually, so far, sa mga nakakausap naman po natin dito na kapwa natin, Senador, wala naman na outright na against sa proposal to extend the corporate term. Pero I think this is really the right time
Yes.
and the right moment for us to fix in our minds yung the macro level ang tawag doon. Macro level view
Yes.
on how the different housing agencies should interact with each other and
the new department.
Their specific
Functions, yes
and
po.
roles.
That's correct.
As much as possible, iwas daw natin yung overlap or
duplication.
redundancy, duplication.
That's correct.
Sayang resources eh.
That's correct. Kung konti na nga lang yung pera para sa housing, linulustay pa sa iba't ibang ahensya. Tama po yun. Kaya nga, naisip ko, kung 50 years ang bibigay natin na extension, ano kaya na within the next 3 years, halimbawa, gumawa tayo ng bagong restructuring given na meron naman bagong department. Ano ang relasyon nila? Siguro maglagay tayo ng amendment doon. Ako lang naisip
Yes,
ko lang.
ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Maglagay tayo ng amendment na obligado sila to come up with a new organizational chart, with a new set of guidelines and IRR doon sa loob ng DSUD at lahat ng sanga-sanga niyang financial agencies, iba't iba. Tapos i-explore rin siguro natin yung sinasabing usufruct or long leases. Kapag hindi talaga kaya, para maibalik naman sa gobyerno, ito iba naman ang makinabang. Tapos siguro may level of monitoring doon sa mga substandard. Kasi nakailang beses na tayo nakakarinig ng skandalo, magpapatayo ang gobyerno o yung kontrata ng gobyerno, kontratista ng gobyerno. Tapos taon-taon hindi lilipatan ang dapat lumipat. So maraming issues po talaga na ganon.
Yes, Senator Ontiveros, Mr. President.
Senator Tiveros recognized.
I think the
Salamat,
only
Mr.
intention
President.
at this point was to give ourselves some time to come up with a new schema for all these housing agencies that seem to have proliferated.
Which is my brief interjection, Mr. President, with the kind indulgence of the good sponsor and the minority leader na, in fact, dun pa lang sa DSUD law,
Oo.
required na ang department i-reorganize yung key shelter agencies na hindi pa nagagawa ng department. At isa po sa mga tanong ko, Mr. President, at the proper time sa interpellation ko. Salamat, Mr. President, at sa good sponsor at sa minority leader.
Thank you, Senator Tiveros.
Actually, that's correct. It's in the DSUD law, and that was 2019. And there is actually a time frame. It's time bound by 2 years after 2019. And nasa 2024 na tayo, hindi pa maliwanag yung mga linya ng mga financing group, ng NHA, at lahat ng grupo ng housing. 2 taon pala, nakita ko time-bound siya at saka dapat measurable output kasi dapat may plano na eh. Ang liwanag naman dito, furthermore, sa Section 22 ng DSUD, tama po si Senator Ontiveros, within 2 years from the effectivity of the Act, the Secretary, in coordination with the GOCC, shall recommend the restructuring of all the foregoing corporations to exactly to eliminate overlaps, if any, in programs, etc., etc.
Yun na nga. So kung ganun nga, so delegated power, pag hindi ginagawa, then the origin of the power must now act. Kasi hindi nga ginawa eh. So tayo, we have to act.
Pwede rin tayo mag-oversight. Kasi nakaka 2 years na.
Ganito po question ko. Kasi pinasok na rin ni DSUD ang building of housing units.
Right.
Binibid out din naman itong gawaing ito. Linilimit lang niya sarili niya dun sa mga
Pag-ibig members.
pag-ibig members. But I don't think there is an obstacle na mag-overreach or mag-reach out na rin si DSUD even to the lowest 30% decile. Kung pwedeng gawin ng DSUD yan theoretically, pwede na pala tayo, we can get rid now of NHA, theoretically speaking.
Or NHA could be absorbed more closely under the umbrella of the DSUD rather than being a corporation that's separate.
Yes. Ganun nga. So ganun. Kasi theoretically speaking, ganun eh. Iniba mo lang yung specs eh.
Tama.
The specs of the contract being bidded out. Di ba?
Kasi
This
bago
time-
lang yung DSUD eh. Hindi naman siya 50
Kaya
years
nga.
old. 5 years old lang siya.
So tama po ba yun? Theoretically speaking,
Pwede ba?
the housing sector can survive even without an NHA because anyway, DSUD is involving itself in the actual building of housing units. Tama po ba yun?
Eto nga, babalik na naman tayo doon sa DSUD law at ang pagkaintindi kasi namin, yung DSUD para sa policy making at hindi dapat pumasok sa building. Yun nga yung magulo ron eh. Eto nga, does it have anything here? Yes. If you look at Section 4 of the DSUD law, the department shall act as the primary government agency for the management of housing, human settlement, urban policy, the sole and main planning, policy making, regulatory, program coordination, and performance monitoring entity, human settlement, etc. Adopt a national strategy, ensure the alignment of policies and programs. Wala po rito nakalista na magko-construction din siya ng low-cost housing. Yun ang problema kasi talaga NHA ang maliwanag na sole housing construction body.
But it's a fact now that meron tayong yung condominium projects nga
4PH.
under DSUD, and which agency is conducting the bidding for the contracts of the building of these condominium projects? Hindi ba si DSUD? Hindi, city should?
My understanding is it's the LGU that is bidding out the contracts, not the suit.
Okay.
Because it is outside of their mandate as a policy-making body.
So it has become an LGU.
There's a great deal of confusion because they couldn't find any money.
May I ask for a
At
minute
the
suspension,
outset,
Mr. President?
I believe that at the outset, there was hope that they would be able to raise financing. Later on, very little financing was available. They started tapping private developers and aligning them or matching them with LGUs.
Okay, ganito. There is already a condominium project being built in Negros Occidental. Meron nata, Bacolod. Ayun, okay. If just in case our resource persons know the answer, sino nag-bid out ng project na yon?
Actually, the NHA people are not aware. They're not really clear as to who bid it out.
Can I ask for a minute suspension, Mr. President?
So she suspended.
One touches on the capital markets, and may we know what are the reform ideas or new ideas in this bill touching on the capital markets, Mr. President?
Yes, Mr. President. The main reform, Mr. President, that we are introducing. Hold on, Mr. President. Let me just get my page yun. STP. The main reform, Mr. President, is the reduction of the stock transaction tax from 0.6% to 0.1%. This is to make our country in line and competitive with our Asian neighbors, Mr. President. And then that is the main one of the most important reforms in the capital markets, Mr. President.
May we get the rates again, Mr. President?
From 0.6 currently to 0.1, Mr. President.
So currently, stock transactions are taxed at 0.6% currently.
Yes, Mr. President.
Are these the transactions in the list in the
Local stock exchange.
local stock exchange? Okay.
Yes, Mr. President.
Well, how about the transfer of tax stocks outside of the stock exchange?
Yes, Mr. President. We also, that's a very good question. We also clarified that domestic shares listed and traded through a foreign stock exchange will also be imposed 0.1%, Mr. President. So if you are a domestic corporation, but your shares are being traded in Singapore, you will now be imposed 0.1%, Mr. President. And just to show the good minority on the screen, these are the current stock transaction taxes of the different countries here in ASEAN, Mr. President. So if you can see in Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, it's 0. Indonesia, it's 0.1. Vietnam is 0.1. Currently, you have the highest stock transaction tax in the in the ASEAN region, Mr. President. So meaning every transaction is imposed 0.6%, Mr. President.
But how about the sale of stocks in companies which are not listed on the stock exchange?
They will be imposed the normal capital gains tax, Mr. President.
6%.
6%, no?
Tama ba?
15% on net.
Yeah, 15% on net, Mr. President. Capital gains.
So iba palang rule dyan, ha? It's not an assumed capital gain. Kasi ang alam ko sa capital gains tax, we assume the gains, and then we we impose 6%. That's a general rule. So ano ba to? There is
Yeah. Yes, Mr. President.
special rule?
Yes, special, Mr. President. On real property, it's 6%.
Correct.
Meaning land improvements, that's imposed 6%. For stocks not traded
Yes.
in the local stock exchange or foreign stock exchange is imposed 15%, Mr. President. CGT.
15% of the actual gain? Or is this the assumed gain? It's from the
Actual gain, Mr.
actual
President.
gain. Okay. Kasi kung actual gain, you have to show acquisition cost.
Yes, Mr. President, correct.
Sige po.
Tama.
Sorry so yung Philippine company with stock sold in a stock exchange in a foreign jurisdiction will still be made to pay stock transaction tax of 0.1%.
Yes, Mr. President.
Except when it will amount to double taxation.
Well, Mr. President, we consulted with local corporations who are listed in the Singapore Stock Exchange and also other stock exchanges. And this system is being imposed in Singapore, Mr. President. But we are codifying it, Mr. President, because the imposition is not equal to all corporations listed in other stock exchange, Mr. President. But there's a mechanism to do it. It's
What's the problem now under the current system, Mr. President?
the mechanism, Mr. President, is there will be the stockbrokers in Singapore, Mr. President, will be mandated to already impose 0.1% on the transactions, Mr. President. And that will be collected through a entity in Singapore, which will be remitted here to the Philippines, Mr. President.
Why
So
is
that's the
Singapore
mechanism.
doing that for us? We have a treaty or an international agreement to that effect, Mr. President?
Mr. President, based on our conversations with Emperador, which is the company that we consulted, there's already an arrangement between our local stock exchange and the Singaporean Stock Exchange, Mr. President. That's the information that we gathered.
And the taxed entities are not complaining. They are not looking for the legal basis to tax why they are being taxed in the sale through the Singaporean Stock Exchange.
Yeah. Well, Mr. President, that's why the request to these companies, one of their requests is to codify it, to make it very clear, because the logic there, Mr. President, if they are a domestic company and they're being taxed here in the local stock exchange, the same imposition should be placed in the foreign stock exchange, Mr. President. But their request is to codify that imposition, Mr. President.
Didn't they raise the matter of a possible double taxation? Because I'm assuming that the foreign stock exchanges also impose a tax, Mr. President.
Well, Mr. President, because their shares are being traded abroad, it's not being imposed. The stock transaction tax is not being imposed on them, Mr. President. But it's the same shares. It's just being traded, one in Singapore and one in the Philippines.
So-
same corporation, different. The trading facilities are just different.
And we are assuming that in the foreign stock exchange, the transaction is not being taxed.
Yes, Mr. President.
But what if it's sold in a jurisdiction where there is a stock transaction tax, just like here?
Well,
So
Mr.
will they not complain that it's a double taxation?
Well, Mr. President, because they're a Filipino company, the way we understand it, they're a Filipino company. Therefore, the situs of tax will be here in the Philippines, will be under the Philippine jurisdiction, Mr. President.
And they are tax under both.
I think the transaction is in the foreign stock exchange. So baka pag situs, baka doon ang situs. Baka
Because it's only the shares that is being traded in outside of
but
the
the
Philippines.
taxable event is the sale, Mr. President. Baka naandun. So was this discussed at the committee level?
Yes, Mr. President, we consulted
The is the concept of double taxation legitimate in this particular case?
Mr. President, in our conversation with Emperador, and BDO was also there. BDO is the entity that remits the imposition from Singapore to the Philippines. Double taxation was not an issue with them. It's just they just want to make sure that the imposition is clear and codified, Mr. President.
Sige po. And
We'll supply the good minority more information on that, Mr. President, based on our consultative meeting with them.
sige po. So, itong mga nagtatransact sa stock exchange, hindi natin masasabing mga mahihirap ito, Mr. President. So itong pinag-usapan natin ito is ang beneficiary nito mga may kaya, yung may kayang mag-transact sa stock exchange.
For now, Mr. President, the desire here is to make it affordable also to the general public, Mr. President. There's an interesting story, Mr. President, that I remember when I was working in the stock exchange when we visited Hong Kong. I remember the taxi drivers were the ones monitoring the trades in Hong Kong. And when you go and buy, let's say, in the, meron silang mga hawkers place in the market, you'll see the market vendors monitoring the stock trades, Mr. President. So it goes to show that the stock market, stock market in Hong Kong attracted the general public to invest in their capital markets, Mr. President. Two things happened. It increased the size of their capital markets, and that size became positive for companies who want to raise capital. And number two, the investing public also has an opportunity to take advantage of the improved market conditions, Mr. President. So that's the desire here also, to make it affordable to the general public.
I think matagal na pong desire dito yan. Ang naalala ko nga, that's why whenever we grant a franchise, hindi ba merong corresponding obligation yan, yung
Public float, the public float.
franchisee to float
To
in the stock
minimum
exchange,
public
yeah.
float.
So that yung public mag-participate. Pero apparently, sa dami na ng franchises na nabigay, hundreds na, parang it doesn't work. Ano naging sagabal, Mr. President?
Mr. President,
Sa public participation in the capital market of the world of stocks, Mr. President.
Well, Mr. President, the public float was really meant to improve governance in the regulated entity, Mr. President. Typically, regulated entities are mandated to go public. In the case of Meralco, who's actually here, they're in their franchise, they are mandated to float a certain percentage of their ownership so that the public can participate in governance and there will be transparency. In the case of investing in the stock market, Mr. President, so aside from stock transaction tax, you will also pay broker's fees, Mr. President. You will also pay income tax, Mr. President. So these are, and you will have to pay documentary stamps, Mr. President. So there are tax and friction costs involved in transacting, in investing in the stock market, Mr. President. So we're reducing friction costs, and we're also reducing the amount of taxes and the amount of friction costs that is imposed in a single transaction, Mr. President.
So how are we doing that, Mr. President? Binabaan lang natin itong final tax. Actually, this is a final tax, di ba?
Final tax, Mr.
Yes,
President.
yung apps of may final tax, merong broker's fee, merong income tax mentioned by our sponsor, although I do not know how come there's still an income tax if this is already a final tax. And then number 4 is the documentary stamp tax.
Ito, may final tax.
So kung wala tayong gagawin dun sa iba, ang magbe-benefit lang yung players na mismo, the existing players in the stock market, sila lang po ang magbe-benefit, hindi tayo nakakadagdag ng new player from the general public. Kasi andun pa si broker's fee, andun pa si documentary stamp tax.
Well, Mr. President, first it's making ourselves competitive. I demonstrated earlier, Mr. President, that in ASEAN, we're the only one imposing 6%. 0.6% STT, Mr. President. As the others, they don't impose anything. So, in other words, there's zero friction cost in terms of transaction, Mr. President. Of course, the desire here is to also eliminate this, just like in Malaysia, in Singapore, and Thailand. But admittedly, that's too drastic because of that will be a big cut in our revenues, Mr. President. So the desire eventually later on is to emulate our ASEAN peers of eliminating stock transaction tax so that we eliminate one friction cost in their transaction, Mr. President.
Pero ano pa pong reforms kailangan natin gawin para dumating tayo sa senaryo na inilarawan ng ating sponsor na kausap niya ang taxi driver ng Hong Kong at nagmo-monitor ng stock prices? Kailan kaya mangyayari yan ang taxi driver sa Pilipinas ay magmo-monitor ng stock prices sa Philippine Stock Exchange?
Well, Mr. President, of course that will take time, but taxi drivers actually can now invest through mutual funds. You can also invest through VULs when they buy insurance, Mr. President. So indirectly, they're actually investing in those products, and those products are actually available, Mr. President, for ordinary Filipinos, especially VULs, because VULs are tied to life insurance, and the life insurance products are very popular to ordinary Filipinos. So in effect, Mr. President, there's already general public participating, not directly as what we have seen in Hong Kong, but in effect that can also help. No? So when we reduce stock transaction tax, these mutual funds and VULs will now be, it's cheaper for them to transact, Mr. President.
Sige po, but how much is in the reduction of this STT, how much is the the revenue that the government is willing to give up or forgo?
Mr. President, on stock transaction tax, it's 37.6 billion, Mr. President, for 5 years, Mr. President.
So tabla na doon sa pick-up.
Yes, Mr. President, tabla na siya.
Opo. Hindi po ba naisip yung pag-tax sa pick-up just so that pantabla sa mga gini-give up natin dito sa other concessions?
Well, Mr. President, the desire is if we increase the market activity in our stock market, more companies will raise funds through the stock markets. It will increase our capital market so they don't have to go to banks because banks typically are much more expensive. So they can now go to the capital markets and raise capital there. So they have alternatives. In other words, you can go to the banks, you can go via bonds, you can go through equities. So may options sila, Mr. President. And that's what we want, to increase the size of our capital markets.
Sige po, how about the bonds? Ano naman po yung ating reform measure or new idea pagdating po sa bonds? We are reducing the tax.
Ito yun, ano? Ata. Ito ba yun?
Ano sa bonds? Hindi ko sa bonds.
Ito lang ba ito?
Yes, sir, you can specific.
Diba, like approach corporate funds yun, ano? Tapos ano?
Saan yung DST on bonds?
Types standardized.